It better be, because it's time to go. Hey, everyone. Happy Merry Day After Christmas Day.
Hey, happy pre-New Year.
Does anybody really care about New Year's? It's never really been a thing that I've really cared all that much about. But Christmas, I got taken care of this year for Christmas, and I'm real happy. And I will be talking about that a little bit in John's world. The thumbnail is a little bit of a giveaway of what that is. You may have seen it, you may not have. Thank you, Curtis Crump. Today, I mean, it's the day after Christmas. Our kids are coming in tomorrow. It is, we had Christmas yesterday. She watched Die Hard for the first time.
Yeah, first time ever watching Die Hard. That was awesome.
It's a great movie. It's a classic.
Yeah.
And yes, it is a Christmas movie because it takes place at Christmas times. And there's multiple Christmas songs that play throughout the movie.
Yeah.
So
there was a Christmas tree decorated.
And there was a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
So it is a Christmas movie, and I'll say it to your face. But we don't have a huge plan today, with the exception of we will be doing a giveaway. She just made the decision. We're going to give away some Northfin fish food, which is a lot of fun. You want to say what those are, or do you want to?
Yeah. Northfin Bug Pro.
One winner is going to get this, not named Brent Russell.
Nanobits and Community. These are my favorite too, because I use all of these.
One winner is going to get all three of those. It's not three winners, one each. One winner is going to get all three of those. Yeah, I'm sorry, Brent, but we can't keep having you hog up all of the giveaway stuff. Brent won 2 weeks in a row, in case you...
I think if it was like in the same night, it would be different. Like you can't win more than one time in the same night, but if you just happen to be a lucky person every week.
I mean, listen, it's a Nightbot that picks it. It's not us. Yeah. So, it's random, and he's gotten lucky 3 weeks in a row.
2 weeks.
2 weeks in a row. And he does not, we do not want him to win 3 weeks in a row, even though it would be kind of cool.
Maybe next week. It's a whole new year next Thursday. You can restart, Brent.
If Dartbot, I play darts online and I play Dartbot. If Nightbot picks Brent for the third week in a row, so be it. He's just a super lucky guy.
Yeah.
And he should be the guy that gives out lottery numbers. Like every week you should do that, Brent, and we'll all become rich. The only thing we have on the agenda today, I do have a creator shout out to do today that I'm going to have a lot of fun with, and I'm really excited about doing.
Did you tell me that?
No. I did. I think I even wrote it on our little thing here. I got to go through all of these to get to it, though.
See.
I told you.
You told me.
Going to have a lot of fun with that, and it's a channel that you really do need to be interested in. I'm sorry to keep pointing at you. It's just nature. That's what I do. But we're also going to have a lot of fun doing Rate My Tank segments today.
And I haven't seen any of them, so I don't know.
Yeah, we're going to do 4 of them.
4? Ooh.
Because why not? It should be fun. So I'm excited about that. Darts is a gentleman's game. Love darts so much.
I like darts. I just don't play like I used to. I got beat so much, it just kind of took the fun out of it.
You think I'm going to take it easy on her when we play? No.
No, he's vicious.
But it never fails. She always beats me the first game, and it hurts my feelings. And
I love it.
But then I go off, and I'm a first game poor player.
And I guess I'm just a first person lucky.
Oh, you're very lucky. But listen, I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. We definitely did. But our Christmas doesn't really start till tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
That's when things go nuts.
Yeah, yesterday I was like, in the evening, I was like, oh man, it's almost over. All this hard work decorating and doing all this. And then I was like, no, it hasn't even really started because the kids and the grandkids come tomorrow. And it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait. I cannot wait for them to see the gingerbread lane. I decorate this one part of the house with all the lights and gingerbread men, and I hang up like little candy cane figures. Just, it's fun. I go a little all out.
John Rambo First Blood has a snowman and a Christmas tree in the background. Christmas movie too. Yep.
Oh.
Why not? I mean, what really qualifies a movie to be a Christmas movie? Does it have to have a Christmas theme? Like,
I mean, the Gremlins.
people say that's a Christmas movie.
It is. It's a Christmas movie, and they're so cute.
Well, if Gremlins is a Christmas movie, then so is Home Alone. Or, well, we know Home Alone is. And that's the thing. Home Alone is no more a Christmas movie than Die Hard.
Yeah, it's true.
And everybody says Home Alone is a Christmas movie. So, yeah, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. New Year's Day, we're going to watch Die Hard 2.
Oh, yeah. And maybe 3. I've never watched either one.
I told her about the beginning of Die Hard 3 yesterday. And, yeah, her reaction was exactly what you would expect.
I was like, no.
Yeah,
Aw.
that happened, and that is definitely scary. Don't forget to participate in the true or false question today, which she came up with. You should overcrowd an African cichlid tank to keep aggression down. True or false? It's that simple.
No, you said falso.
I did spell false wrong. I graduated high school, barely. I did have to go to summer school once. But yeah, I don't know how that happened. The
Falso?
E is on the opposite side of the keyboard from the O.
Well, it sounds like something that
Spanish?
Bob would say something like that, like friendzo or something.
All right.
So I thought you were doing that.
I didn't even notice it until I went in there when I first got out here and checked on that. Hans Gruber will always be one of my favorite villains. He was great. But how can you watch that movie and not think of Severus Snape when you see that?
I've never
she
watched
doesn't, but
Harry Potter, so I don't know.
Falso is Spanish for false. See?
Oh.
I was just having a Spanish moment is all it was.
Okay. I'll go with that.
Okay, so, yeah. Don't forget to participate in the true or false. We've got Rate My Tank tonight. We've got 4 of them. I have had so many submissions.
That's awesome.
And not all of them I've looked at. I'll be honest with you. And today I went through and I started picking some to do this one. And I realized a lot of those I don't have permission to see. It's basically like if you send it through a like Google, what's it called? Whatever it is. Or like Dropbox. Dropbox is fine, I think. But if you send it through Google, you have to grant permission to the person that you sent it to. And I would not do that. Like if I was going to send somebody something, I wouldn't know that I needed to do that. And a lot of people who have sent me clips also didn't know that they needed to do that. And so, yeah, it doesn't happen. And so Google Drive, thank you. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. So if you have submitted a tank for Rate My Tank and you haven't heard anything back from me, check your email, because you probably have an email from Google Drive that says, hey, this dummy in North Carolina is trying to access your video. Do you give him permission? And give that dummy permission, because that's the only way I can do it. It's so that I can view it and then also download it to put it in here. But I think before we do that, we should get the creator shout out of the way. Probably be a good idea, right? Break things up a little bit.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Let's I haven't set everything up over there. Hopefully everything's okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
I don't have very specific criteria for the creator shout out. It's basically when a channel, when I connect with a channel, that's when I say, you know what, it's probably time to do a creator shout out on that. And the channel that I'm going to talk about today, I certainly have developed a very, very deep connection to. In fact, I would dare to say I'm probably probably have a deeper connection to this channel than any other channel that we've talked about in the creator shout out. I think it's pretty safe to say that. What is it about a channel that makes me happy? Not just a channel that I would do a shout out for, but what makes me happy about a channel that would make me connect with that channel, particularly when we're talking about fish keeping channels, which is hard to do because I've been doing this for a very long time. You have to have something about you that separates you from everyone else to really make me notice you and be like, oh, they're doing something special there. That's cool. The things that I look for are clear and concise delivery of information. I think that's critical, particularly when you talk about a hobby like fish keeping that is very intimidating to a lot of people for a long time. This isn't a hobby that you can know everything there is to know before you set up an aquarium, because so much of what we do is based on experience, right? So it gets overwhelming very fast. And for somebody to be just very thorough and talk with the audience like they're friends, not talking down to them or being condescending or anything like that, just a nice, fluid, easy to listen to delivery that also makes sense. That's critical. That is more important to me than video quality or what their tanks look like or anything like that. That's the most critical thing. That is how I will connect with a channel. Well, this channel that I'm going to talk about today, I've done that in spades. And I, like I said, this channel doesn't know this, but I am without question this channel's #1 fan. In fact, it could almost be to like a stalking level.
No,
like
that's my #1.
Well, yeah, we'll see. But I sincerely believe that I'm probably this channel's #1 fan. You messed me up here. I was on a roll.
It's definitely me.
Okay, fine. We can fight over that later. But I seriously feel like this channel might start to have a problem with me because I go a little bit too far. But what if I was to tell you that there was a fish keeping channel out there, exclusively fish keeping, that checks all of those boxes? Delivery of information is very smooth. It's very easy to understand. In fact, there's 2 people on this channel, both of which have very different styles, but they're both, you're going to connect with one of them. You've got one that is, let me just say, I'm a happily married woman, and I'm a I'm a happily married man to a beautiful woman is what I meant to say. I'm not gay, but if I was, the one guy on this channel he's a heartbreaker. I got to tell you, he's a white guy. He's bald. He's got this big, glorious beard. And I'm just saying, the ladies talk about him all the time. I'm just saying. I mean, he's a looker. Very easy to look at. Really old. That's the only thing. He's an old guy. The other guy, it's 2 guys that run this channel. There's the good-looking, very old guy, and then there's the guy that's way younger, not nearly as good-looking, but he's kind of more like the everyday guy. You know what I mean? Like, you've got the old guy who's like practically prehistoric, but he's got all the credentials. He's got a master's degree in microbiology with, I believe I'm saying it right, an emphasis on fish health, something like that. He's a professor, folks. He's a college professor. That's what he does for a living. He's very good looking. He's very well put together. He's super smart. He has all the credentials. The other guy, not so much.
Just basic white guy.
Yeah, he's just like your average guy that you would see walking down the street and you probably wouldn't pay any attention to him. Not particularly smart, but I think that the reason why he connects with people is because he speaks just from experience. And he's probably easy to listen to, not necessarily easier than the other guy, but he doesn't come at things from a technical standpoint. He comes at these things just from just kind of a, hey, here's what it is kind of thing. And so the two of them being very different, but also being similar, except the one's really old and really good looking, and the other one's not old and basic. But their two deliveries work really well together. You can tell that these two guys have the highest level of respect for each other, and they just work really well together. And between the two of them, not the ugly guy so much, but particularly the good-looking guy, they give really, really good, solid information. And they do it in an entertaining way. How do I know this? There is not an episode of this channel that this channel has produced, which are actually podcasts. There's not a podcast episode that I have not watched multiple times. I'm telling you, I watch them probably 5 times each, minimum 5 times each. Sometimes I'll even watch it, each episode, a 6th time, and I'll watch it in double speed. I'm sorry. I told you I was obsessed with this channel. I happen to love it. And it would really mean a lot to me if you were to go to this channel, if I recommend this channel to you and you have not checked it out yet. If you do go check it out and you see what these guys are doing, the good-looking guy and the not-so-good-looking guy, you see what they're doing. If you like what they're doing, leave a comment in any of the videos. It doesn't matter, saying, hey, KG Tropicals sent me here because he's obsessed, and you might want to call law enforcement because he might be a stalker. I am talking about these guys. I don't know if I believe them or not, but they claim they have the biggest podcast on the planet. In fact, the really old, super good-looking guy swears that it's even the largest podcast that's ever been produced in the multiverse. I mean, he's a little cocky, but he's so smart that you don't really pay attention to that. The number one podcast in the world happens to be, according to them, an aquarium podcast. We're talking about the Tank Talk podcast. If you're interested in aquariums and you want clear and concise, maybe the average guy might ramble a little too much and it might go a little far sometimes. And then the really good looking super old smart guy has to kind of, reel him in and be like, come on, you're rambling too much. But it's easy to understand, very easy to follow. You're not going to be overwhelmed. They're two easy guys to listen to. One's easier to look at than the other, but they're easy to look. You're just going to love them. If you love aquariums, this is going to be the perfect opportunity for you to put something on every week that you can have on for an hour at least. Sometimes they're even a little bit longer, and you can be entertained while also learning a thing or two from a really good looking guy that's super old that has a master's degree in all kinds of fish stuff.
Yeah, he's a smart one.
He's the smart one. They even call him the professor. It's kind of cute. It's kind of funny. The average guy, basic guy, he nicknamed the other guy the professor, and it's adorable. Yeah. I think they might have shirts made about that. It's really cute. But I don't want to get myself into trouble here because, like I said, I am kind of pushing that maybe I might cross the line into possible stalker behavior. Like I said, I don't think anybody else is listening or watching 5 times a week, but I just really like this channel. I've really connected with them, and I hope you will too. If you haven't checked it out, please do so. And again, like I said, let them know that KG Tropicals sent you, but don't out me. I got a good thing going with those two guys. I really don't want to ruin it. So, take it easy on me, and that's it. Check out the Tank Talk podcast, and if you like that kind of content, subscribe. I bet they'd greatly appreciate it. I'll probably watch an episode after this is over. You're not paying attention, huh?
Oh.
Just push double. Did anybody figure it out? I wonder.
Yeah. B.W.L said it wasn't funny, so.
Oh, well, that's okay. I wasn't talking to B.W.L anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Dennis did it again because he always does. Gifted 10 memberships. Thank you, Dennis, so much
you, Dennis,
for that. I believe Dennis also put in an order. I'm looking at it right here. Yep.
Ah, he did.
Put it in order right at the beginning of the stream, 21 minutes ago. Thank you so much for that, Dennis.
Thank you very much.
So, it was funny, and I'll say it to your face. Thank you, Kaylin. Appreciate that.
We do appreciate you.
Come on. Just having some fun here. Let's not be ridiculous.
No, you're being accused of advertising yourself. So
I was 100% advertising myself, and I'll say it to your face. You think I'm afraid of you? Come on. Get out of here.
it's a joke, people. Gosh.
I thought everybody would get a kick out of that. I didn't think there'd be people that would actually have a problem with it. Okay. We're going to get into the first Rate My Tank. I don't care if people have a problem with it. It's my show, and I can do what I want. And I can say it to your face. Let's get to this before we get into that, because we're going to go through these. If you don't know what Rate My Tank is, we rate your tanks. Not people who say mean things to us, only people who say nice things. And we let you know what we feel about these tanks. We show you the videos that are sent to us. We rate them on their equipment, the aquascape, the fish, and the overall presentation. We have a lot of fun with it. And at some point, probably going to give away some type of a prize to the person with the highest score. I haven't decided yet, because this is just totally subjective, and it's our opinions, and
Yeah.
people
It's
screw
for
things
fun.
up.
Yeah, it's for fun.
People screw things up no matter what you do. There's always going to be somebody that's going to complain. Everybody says my tank is so much better. I don't know why that person won. It's like you can't have a good thing. There's always going to be some complications to it, but who cares? We're not here to talk about that. Before we get into that, Kevin M. started my first African cichlid tank today, added 8 peacocks to my 110 gallon, decided to level up my game after 3 years. Your content helps me in so many ways, and I can't thank y'all enough. Wow. That sounded a little bit like Owen Wilson. That happens to
That's
be
really awesome.
the topic of the true or false question that we're going to cover later on, Kevin. So stand by for that. And you're probably going to want to add some more peacocks to that 110. And good for you, because that is never a bad, that's a good problem to have, is what I'm saying. So the first tank was sent in, and I got to tell an interesting story about this one. It is the first one, right? Yep. So today I was putting all this together. What I do is when the person emails me their tank, they usually will email a list or a paragraph that has all of the equipment and all of the fish and all the information about the tank will be sent in that email with it. And I'll copy and paste that over to a Word document, which is sitting right here in front of me. We pull it up during the stream, and I refer to that rather than going to the email and all that kind of stuff. And so I did that with this particular, this person's tank. It comes to us from Adam and Donna Rich.
Oh.
I was looking at this. I watched the video. I try not to watch too much of them because I don't want to start to formulate my opinions. Sometimes I want to do this on the fly, and then others I want to be like, I'm going to do my scores before we even start. I don't know. It's weird. But I'm watching this, and then I'm copying and pasting the information over. And as I'm doing that, blink, I get a notification that I've received an email from Donna Rich. What? and it was Donna and Adam Rich had ordered from us.
Oh.
And they ordered last week, and we're wondering what the deal is. How come they're, I believe it was a plant order, but it might have been snails. I'm not sure. Wondering like, hey, what the heck's going on here? How come they haven't been very nicely asking about, is there something wrong? Why haven't they been shipped? And I had to explain to them it's because the holidays fall on a Wednesday, blah, blah, blah. But it was hilarious because I'm like, I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone because I'm sitting here reading this person's email and copying and pasting all this stuff over. And then boom, I get an email from that very person. Very strange. But let me put this on here. This is Donna and Adam Rich's tank.
Oh, that's pretty.
I knew you would say that, and I agree. Yeah, this is going to be
Wow.
it's going to be another hard one for me because
You
this
pick
one.
all these good ones.
Well, I'm showing you what gets sent to me. I don't pick them. There's not been one yet that I have said, nah, not doing that one. This is a shoot. I did not document the size of the tank. And I really think I ought to find that out. I think it's a 65. I'm going to have to go to the email to do that.
Oh, that is so pretty.
I can look this up pretty quick. I just have to find it. Okay, there's that. And then we go up here. 75. All right. So this is a 75-gallon tank. I was wrong. I said 65. On this tank, we have an FX2. Well done. A Fluval M300 heater. The FX2 has a custom spray bar on it, by the way. There is dual Haiger advanced lights, a Haiger air pump, and a Haiger circulation pump. This individual here is a big fan of Haiger, apparently. And we don't have a problem with that. In the tank is 7 Cory Sturbys, 9 Serpe Tetras, 4 Platinum Rummy Nose Tetras, ordered 15, but 11 died in transit. 36 Polar Blue Parrot Cichlids. Started with 3 adults 16 weeks ago. 2 are great parents and just had a huge group of babies grow up in the tank. Isn't that adorable? And they make cute little babies. We've got 4 Bosemani rainbows, 2 German blue rams, 2 steel blue epistogramma, an electric blue acara, a phantom blue pleco, 4 reticulated Siamese algae eaters, 2 blue mystery snails, and 6 ram's horn snails. This is a busy
6
tank.
ram's horn. It's probably more like 675. They just don't realize it yet.
That was when they emailed me. There's probably at least 300 by now, but at the time of email, there was only 6 ram's horns. 75-gallon tank. I mean, the biggest fish in the tank is the blue acara, right? I mean, I don't know that anything in there. Well, the parrots maybe. They're all smaller fish. I guess. Yeah, I'm trying to refer to the list as I'm talking here, but none of these fish are going to get massive. Certainly not going to get too big for a 75-gallon. I love seeing the little babies. It's a crowded tank, but it doesn't look like it.
Good filtration.
Really strong filtration. Lots of plants.
Yeah.
So, and it looks perfect. We've got hornwort growing up in the top. We've got wisteria popping through. There's some anacharis in there. All kinds of mosses. Anubias. We've got nanopetetes. There's a tiger lotus there. Vallisneria. We got everything going on in this tank. Some 53Bs in there. I would love it.
I love the hardscape too.
If these plants came from us, I suppose I could look it up. I know they've ordered from us because I was emailing about that today, but if those plants came from us, I would want to take pictures of that and put them on our website because, wow, especially the RTLs. But
I know. They're beautiful.
This one's a hard one for me because and I don't mean it's hard like, oh, I'm going to score it bad. I mean, like, I want to give this the highest scores. But let's start off the way we always do with the equipment. Haiger lights, Haiger air pump, Haiger circulation pump, which with all that going on in there, I suppose a circulation pump is a good thing to have. FX2. I mean, what really could be better? Sure, we could name brands that we'd rather see in there, but that doesn't mean that what he has in there or she has, I don't know whose tank it is. I think it's the husband's tank, which would be Adam. What is in there looks really good, and it's obviously working because all the plants look really good. I mean, it can't be a 10 for equipment, but I'm going to give it a solid 8 for equipment. I mean, to have a 10, there would needed to be Kessel lights or, it would need to be extreme. So an 8 is a dandy of a score there, Rich family.
I agree. 8. I'm not even going to argue about that. I'd say 8 because everything you said I agree with.
Well, you're just making this easy. The aquascape is also fantastic. I mean, what this is not an elaborate aquascape.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's a rather simple aquascape that is made to look much more ambitious because of the volume of plants.
The plants are obviously not new. They are healthy plants.
Oh, they've been in there a while.
You know, so it's definitely a well-established tank.
The 53Bs are huge. The Wisteria's small. It's either Wisteria or Water Sprite, but my vote would be Wisteria. They're smaller than I would expect. That's not going to make you lose points, Rich family, because look at the Anubias. They're huge. And I mean, I don't know if that's a Hossofolia or a Gracilis. I'm in love with this tank. I'm not going to lie. And the Tiger Lotuses, forget about it. Those are ridiculous. I could probably do without the hornwort, but I understand why it's there and it doesn't hurt anything. I've just had so many experiences of just getting overwhelmed with hornwort that it kind of, I don't know, left a sour taste in my mouth. That is Wisteria, right? It looks, maybe that's something different. I wonder if the Rich family is in the, oh, right there.
They are, yeah.
Water Sprite's new. Okay, there you go. Well, that makes more sense then. That Water Sprite is going to be huge. That was really cool. I looked right in there, and there it was. I love the fact that there's moss, there's rocks, there's driftwood, there's several, every plant. There's all the plants in there.
Different rocks, like the wood. The wood is placed perfectly right.
It really is.
And the sand looks really pretty.
Sand looks great.
It makes it pop. The background with the black background, it's not, you know, you can't see cords and all that.
I love a tank that you can't even see the background. Mm-hmm. And this is close. When that Wisteria pops on the right side of the tank and those 53Bs get a little bit bigger, you're not going to see the background, and that's going to be absolutely amazing. That's going to be it's amazing now.
And the side view. Whew.
I'm giving it a 9, and I'll say it to your face. I love the aquascape in this tank. Love it, love it, love it. Mm-hmm. You can't disagree with me. You need to talk a little.
No, I already had a 9 in my head. That's the thing. I was going to say 9 too.
I should have asked you first.
Because I agree 100%. It's not a 10, but it's so close to a 10. It really is. Maybe, 6 months from now, when everything in the very back is, you can't see the back of the tank at all. But for now, 9 is good.
9 is really good.
I can't even imagine me rating any of my tanks a 9.
Oh, no. Maybe my yellow lab tank I would give that, for me personally, because that's my favorite tank. So,
but it's not planted or anything. It's just rocks.
I do agree. This is a very mature tank.
I like it.
And look at that Rotala coming up. And you give this a few more months, it's going to explode, and that's great. He's going to be trimming those RTLs back. He's going to be trimming the Water Sprite back. He's probably get rid of the hornwort by then, because it's like, okay, now the Water Sprite's taking over. I don't need this hornwort anymore. It's going to look absolutely fantastic. And again, that is also going to cover up the spray bar, which is well done, Adam. You did good there.
Those bubbles, Jay would have hated them.
Yeah, we don't listen to Jay. That's why his scores didn't count. He doesn't like bubbles. I don't know what's wrong with that guy.
I do not like bubbles. I like that.
Listen, you brought up a really good point, and I want to highlight it. A tank that looks really good from the side deserves extra points.
It looks really good from the side.
So, yeah. So that's 2 9s. What did you give it on equipment? We both gave it 8s. You're just copying me. It's easy.
We both said 8. We both said 9.
Fish. Now, it has to be said. It is the elephant in the room here. It is overstocked. But here's the thing. I think it's overstocked because there's babies in there.
Yeah.
If you take those babies away, which they will eventually, they're not going to have 75 parrots in there.
Yeah.
I don't know that it will be overstocked at that point. So, and I'm certainly not going to take points away because there's babies in there. If I'm going to do anything, I would give them extra points for their babies being babies in there, because if there's babies in your tank, that means you're doing things right. Oh man, I'm letting you go first because I don't want you to cheat off me again. This is tough.
See, I like all the fish. I think they're beautiful. They're healthy. They look amazing. I really do like every single one of them. They look really good in the tank. It's weird because it's different to me than some of the other fish that I've seen in tanks where it was like, oh my God, there's fish. Wow, pow. They work perfect with that. Where, I mean, this is obviously a community type tank and it works. It looks really good. I don't know. I feel bad for saying this. It's because they're not my favorite kind of fish. I like those fish though. They look great. But do you know what I'm saying? Like it'd be different if it was like all silver tip tetras, like 100 silver tip tetras just doing their thing, or
that would be incredible.
Or maybe like 4 or 5 angel fish with a bunch of rummy nose or something. You kind of have a hodgepodge of fish here.
I like that, but
I
go
do
ahead.
like it. I am not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to explain the points that I want to give. I've given a 10 for guppies because I'm a guppy person, and you know what I'm saying. As far as these fish go,
Today, Junior.
you're talking to me like that, Mr. Rambler? Where do you think I learned it? I'm going to go with an 8.
Okay.
Because I
don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, I really do like them. And like I said, they're healthy. There's nothing like popping out like, oh, they don't look good or anything. They all look amazing. I don't know. For me, the tank is all about the plants and the hardscape. That looks so good.
That is true. I mean, you could take all the fish away and just leave the Serpe tetras in there, and it would still look really, really good.
Oh my God. Like if it was just all Serpe tetras, could you even imagine
that? Would be striking. But I like the variety. I don't know what her problem is. I like the variety. I don't think there's anything that's in there that doesn't fit. I mean, the babies are going to make things a little complicated eventually, but I absolutely love those babies.
He sold the babies.
Oh, they're sold already?
Yeah.
He also said he got rid of the hornwort too, which that's... It was in there for the babies. It served its purpose. Good for you. I like it. I love the babies in there. I love the variety. But again, to get a 10, I don't know. Have I given a 10 for fish? I think I maybe have.
Maybe once.
This one, to me, I can't mirror your score because that would just be dumb. I'm giving it an 8.5 for fish because I love the variety. I love the volume. Obviously, with the filtration that's on there, which is huge for that tank, and all of that built-in natural filtration in there, it can handle that load no problem, even with the babies in there. And I love the variety. I love the diversity. I love all of that. It is awesome. Every single color, yellow, red, blue, black, silver, they're all in there. And they all look really good. So 8.5, I'll say it to your face. Overall presentation, I'm going to let you go first again.
Overall presentation, like...
We don't get to see the stand and all that really, but...
I don't care about that.
Yeah.
For me, it's all about that first impression when you look at it, that feeling you get when you first see it and you're like, or you're like, you got to think about it. For me, I think overall presentation I'm going to go with a 9.
I was going to do that too, and I'm not
See,
going
now you're
to.
copying
I'm
me.
not copying you.
Again,
And
if it was like I said, if it was just all Serpe tetras, like just all one or something for that setup, I really could see myself going, whoa, overall would be a 10. Something about just all of that same color or 2 different groups of fish, where they contrast or something. But I think all of these look amazing in there, like I said before, and it's a beautiful tank. I would love to have that tank for myself.
I'm not going to fight you. But I disagree. I like the diversity. I like all of the different fish. I don't disagree that tank full of nothing but rummy nose or nothing but the Bosmanis or the Serpes, that would look really good. It would look really cool. However, I like that there's a whole big hodgepodge of a bunch of different fish in there. So we're giving it the same score, even though we differ on the way we feel about it. But that's what I'm going to go with a 9 too. So, Rich family, you got some banger scores.
You definitely do.
And I don't mean any disrespect to anyone else that we're doing tonight, but from what I can recall, I think you're going to be the high scorer of the night, because those are some gargantuan scores that we've got going on there. What do we have going on in the chat? We got 3 more of these to do, and we have all the time in the world because, hey, well, we do still need to get out of here at 9, but
9? Is it?
At 9.
Oh, I didn't even see what. I forgot we start earlier. I was like, we're only going an hour?
I do have the unfortunate duty to let you all know Primetime Aquatics will not be streaming tonight. So I don't know if anybody else is taking their spot, but we're not going to be like absolutely adamant about being gone at 9:01. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
If we extend over a little bit, it's not going to be the end of the world. Somebody said something, and see, this is what is an interesting thing about doing this segment. I don't see who. Oh, I love John H. I love the tank, but a slight haze. I didn't see that at all. And so all of our eyes are different. We see things differently. I don't know what you mean by the haze, because I didn't see that at all. I see a lot of haze in this tank behind me, but I certainly didn't see any in that video. So our eyes see different things, and that's, I think, what is cool about this. I like seeing what you all put in the chat as far as what your scores would be. I think that's cool because we all have our own opinions.
That. And I think it's really cool doing these, showing all these different tanks, because it gives people ideas for themselves.
It definitely does. And listen, there are no criteria for getting your tanks on this segment. You do not have to be channel members. There's probably some that would recommend that we do that. Make that a perk only available to channel members. I'm not going to do that. We have things that we do for channel members, one of which is the live stream, which we will not be doing tomorrow, folks. I wanted to make sure everybody knew that, because all the kids are coming tomorrow, and I'm not gonna do that.
Huh,
We don't get to see them.
You already...
I told everybody last week I'm not doing this coming Friday.
Oh, you did? Okay.
So if you did come to the member stream last week, I got to let you know I got one of the things for Christmas that I was begging for, and it's sitting right here, and I'm going to show it to you in a little bit. He's looking at me right now. He's just, look at the look on his face. He's like, what did you just say to me? Look at that. Anyway, this one got it for me. Next tank, I have to get set up here, comes to us from Zack Arnold. Now, what's going to happen here? This is not Zack Arnold's tank. This is still Adam and Donna Rich's tank, but we're going to switch it to this one. And I'm going to turn the audio off, and we're going to make sure we loop it. And there it is.
I didn't even see it start.
Oh, okay. I don't know what we're looking at there, but let me tell you about Zack Arnold's tank. It's a Marineland 65-gallon with an Eheim 350 canister, Fluval 3.0 48-inch plant light, Tidal 75, which I think is adorable because spell check changed it to title, like it's the title. Aqua-L sponge on a power head, an Eheim heater, spell check switched to Eham, which is adorable. Eheim dual air pump, small Fluval breeder box, which is right there on the corner. Okay. And that is it for the equipment. What is he focusing on here in this corner?
I don't know.
Well, let me read the list of fish, and then maybe we'll be able to figure it out. We've got 9 Emperor Tetras, 11. This is a long list, folks. 11 Lemon Tetras, 3 Neon Tetras, 4 Harlequin Rasbors, 2 or 3 Glow Light Tetras, 5 Green Cory Cats, 2 Angelfish, 3 Festivums, 1 Demon Earth Eater Cichlid. Never heard of that one before. 1 Redhead Geo, 1 Electric Blue Acara. Are we seeing a theme here? 1 Raphael Catfish, a Spiny Eel, Snowball Pleco, King Tiger Pleco, Royal Pleco, Blue Vampire Shrimp, 3 Racing Snails, possibly red racers, and a Rabbit Snail.
And a pair of angels. They act like they're in there breeding.
We have our second of very densely populated tanks. But good filtration on there, 350 canister filter, and the Title 75. Not making fun of you, Zack. That is spell check that I'm making fun of there. Zack likes to represent the companies that he supports there with the stickers. I think that's cute. Personally, Zack, I personally wouldn't do that. No offense to Aquapros. I almost said his real name. I don't know if he wants people to know his real name. I know everybody knows his name's Mike, but I don't know if you know what his actual name is. But anyway, the Fluval sticker, I probably wouldn't do that. Only because you have a beautiful tank, and it kind of does take away from that a little bit with the cartoon characters and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I probably wouldn't do that. But from an equipment standpoint, I do have one zonk that I'm going to give, but I'm going to let you do it first. I'll give you a refresher. A Fluval 3.0 light. That's about as good as you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
Aqua-L sponge on a power head, a Title 75, and an Eheim 350 canister, along with Eheim heater and dual air pump.
For as far as equipment, I like the equipment. I think he's got good equipment. I'll go with an 8.5.
Wow, that's really high. That's a really good score, Zack. You're doing good here. I don't hate the score, but we have to kind of set a ground rule here.
No, I said 8.5. You're not changing my mind.
You don't have to change it. What I'm saying is, if we have a problem with the fact that there is no background, does that count as a ding towards the aquascape?
No.
Or the equipment?
I would say overall.
Okay, so then I can't ding that for the equipment.
No.
I feel like that's the aquascape. But no, it could also be the overall.
The equipment, it needs to be that. Like,
that's
how
fine.
Do you feel about the equipment?
But I don't like seeing the equipment like I can see it here, and it's because of the background.
That should not affect whether you like the equipment or not. That has no bearing on if that is good equipment or not.
All right,
That's your personal.
You're teaching me a thing here too. Here, I don't disagree. The equipment's good. I mean, Tidal. We all know how I feel about those. Eheim canisters are really good. I haven't used one in a long time. The last one I used leaked. That doesn't mean that they're all bad. It just means that I had one that leaked. Not particularly a fan of the whole sponge filter with power head thing. Plus, you got a big old Eheim canister and a big old hang on back. What the hell do you need that for? It's kind of...
It's to keep it polished.
Nah. If you're not getting water polished by having an oversized hang on back and oversized canister, then we have other problems. So I do have to take away from that the light. Yeah, Kessels are better, AIs are probably better, but for a normal person like us, that we're not. I mean, the only way we have Kessel lights is if they send them to us to do reviews on. I mean, they're really expensive. They're the best in the business, but for normal folk like us, Kessels are a bit out of reach. So that light is as good as you're going to get. So, you get bonus points there. What did you give?
I said at 8.5.
I'm going with that too.
Why are you copying me now?
Because you copied me on the last one.
I think we should start writing it down and hiding it.
That's why I have you go first. But anyway, who cares?
So you can copy me.
I think that is fair. And it would probably be a not. See, this is where it'll make it different. Zack, if you're in here, I don't know if you are. I would have given you a 9 if there wasn't the sponge filter with the power head on it in there, because I think that's just overkill. But anyway, Aquascape, not a whole lot to talk about here on this one. A few plants that they're not red tiger lotuses. He didn't put what the plants are, but they are the large lily type plants. Maybe they are.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe they are red tiger lotuses.
Yeah. They're just mature. They already went up.
Obviously, Amazon swords. Looks like there was an Apontageton in there. I think I saw a Java fern. We've got a nice assortment of plants. Not a whole lot of plants.
The swords, though, in my opinion, they look like they need some root tabs, though. They're probably,
depleted a little bit.
Yeah, swords are hard if you don't keep up with them as far as like fertilizing them for some reason. So
this is I'll score Aquascape first so that you don't get mad at me. This is not an overwhelming Aquascape. It is not at all an ugly Aquascape. There's just not a whole heck of a lot to it. It's basically some rocks and pieces of driftwood that are highlighted by plants. And as time goes by and we spread out some of those plants and they start to really fill in and stuff like that, it'll be more like the tank from before.
I think some of the floating plants are probably making it hard for the other plants that,
That's probably the problem with the swords.
They're not getting the light.
Yep.
And they need more fertilization.
Yeah, there's a lot of floating plants in there, which I think is great, but it's also, it may be, Rob, that's a good point. It might be, they're really the only ones that are taking advantage of that powerful light that you have there. Might be a good idea to set up some type of barrier or something like that. Keep the frog bit and all of that over to let some of the light get down, particularly to that sword. Obviously, the lily is not, that doesn't have a problem there at all. I like the Aquascape. I'm not overwhelmed by it.
I think definitely pretty.
I think it's going to look a lot better. Particularly, we get those floating plants taken care of, get more light in there.
Or if you want to keep the floating plants because they look really nice, make it a dark water tank. I like doing that. I don't know. Have some anubias, a little bit of crypts because they don't need as much light. Make it, I don't know. That's my thing.
I ain't mad at you. I don't want you to be mad at me here, Zack. But, it's really nice. It's good. It's not great. I'm going to give it a 6.5 on the Aquascape.
Okay, so I do like it. I like it a lot. It really is pretty. It needs a little
time.
It does. It needs time. Maybe add more plants, get some of the floating plants out, or if you want to, I feel like you need to do one or the other. If you want floating plants and you don't care about, what you have in your substrate, you want to have a nice hardscape, make it a dark water tank, throw a few Anubias in there because they don't need a whole lot of light, and just have all the floating stuff up in there, botanicals and stuff. I think I don't know. I just feel like it needs to be one or the other, as far as that goes. I'm gonna go with. See, I feel bad for saying this, but I'm gonna say a 6.
I don't think that is unfair. I don't think, and Zack is in here with us tonight. That's good to know. Now we need to make sure we're a little nicer because we know he's here. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no,
No.
I think honestly, if you can, average is 5.
That's
So
right.
if you're anywhere from 5 to 10, you're doing good.
You're above average.
You're above average.
Every man has heard if you
Just stop.
over 5,
Please stop.
above average. But that is a good. It's a good score. It's not a great score. It's certainly nothing to be ashamed of. There are little things that could be done that would
Yeah.
dramatically change things. And it's the beautiful thing about this hobby of ours is that we're always learning, we're always adapting, and so yeah, it's nothing to be ashamed of. The fish, we got a long list of fish in here. A lot of diversity, again, like we had on the last tank. Instead of rainbows in the last tank, we've got angels in this one.
And they are definitely wanting to make babies. You can tell by the way they're acting over there. They took control of that
Yep.
right side. They're, fighting, trying to shoo the other ones away.
The festivums are getting a little anxious too, with the angels pushing them back. It's fun. I like watching that, as long as they're not hurting each other, which they don't appear to be. They're just basically expressing their opinions to each other. I think that's cool. I like the diversity of it. I'm a sucker for angels. Love festivums. Of course, electric blue acaras are always going to win points for me. I like. Okay, here's what I'll say. I like plecos. I'm not impressed by plecos.
I like them. I like the different kinds. I like ones that aren't your standard. Standard plecos, I believe, belong in a tank like you got behind you.
Mm-hmm.
I like all my other ones. I have a couple. I don't even remember the names of them that I got from the Keystone Clash like 4 years ago. I forgot what they're even called, but I still have them, and they're adorable. They're cute, and they don't get any bigger than this.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I like them. I'm not pooping on them. I'm just saying they don't make me go, oh my God. I really do like the zebras. What are they? L44 or something? Which I think you have one in there.
I have 2.
Yeah, I like those. But again, like
My
you don't get extra
vampire-
points from me for
vampire
plecos. Vampires, I've got a couple of those too.
No, they're mine. I let you borrow one.
Oh, whatever. It's mine
It
now.
is mine.
I do like the diversity. I'm not saying I take points away because of plecos. There's like 8 plecos in this tank. I don't mean that. I'm just saying, like, I'm impressed by angels, impressed by blue acaras. Plecos, I know I saw Jeff Rose in here earlier, and he's probably really pissed at me right now. They just don't overwhelm me. So, they don't earn extra points, I guess is what I'm trying
I
to
like
say.
the ones that come out. The
Well-
ones that hide, like one of the zebra ones you're talking about.
You never see them.
Well, the one is in one tank, the other is in the other tank with the with all the guppies. When I had taken the tank down to rescape it, one came out and I was like, I didn't even know you were in here. I forgot you existed.
That's a good surprise to have.
So when I saw it, I was like, yay.
I know she's going to object to this, but I do like the diversity of the fish. I'm sorry, Zack, but I kind of wish we could see the fish a little better. But because so much of that light is being consumed by all those floating plants, it does it takes the pop away from the fish. You may love that. A lot of people do. Like you were talking about dark water tanks and stuff.
I like my.
That's not a dark water tank.
No,
but
I know, but my I can't even say it. Sinipa red pencilfish tank is a dark water tank. And I like it.
And that when you have it and where you're like looking in there, like what are going on with the fish? That's pretty cool when you're doing that intentionally. With this, you've got the most expensive normal person light on there. And I don't mean any insult by that. I hope nobody takes offense to that. I'm a normal person. You're kind of like, you should be able to see the fish more. I'd love to see them more, but I really like the diversity. I'm going to stop rambling. I'm giving the fish a 7 because I like the diversity and I love geos and festums and all of that. So festivums.
I really like the angelfish.
Of course you do. You better.
Because I like angelfish. And I do like the other fish. You're like, I like diversity and all that. Yeah, I do too. But it's not.
But you didn't in the last tank. It depends on the tank. That is the thing.
You didn't even let me. You interrupted. That was very rude.
Oh, now you know what it feels like.
Okay, so what I was going to say was, I do like that there are a lot of different fish. But I feel like it has to be the right different fish to go with the right different fish to get that overall reaction of the fish in the tank.
A lot of these do kind of blend in together.
Yeah. So I don't get that with this tank as far as they, like that wow factor. They go so good together, like the color combination and stuff. What I do like about the fish is that they're healthy. They don't look like they're, diseased or starving or anything like that. So I do like that. But I think for me, as far as the fish go, I'm going to go with a 7.
All right. Well, we see eye to eye there. That's good. Overall presentation. I'm going to go first.
Oh, okay.
Or do you want to go first? You go first. Go ahead.
Overall presentation. Well, so when I saw the tank at first, I was like, okay, that's a beautiful tank. I like that. It's very nice. There's nothing. It doesn't have like the SpongeBob stuff in it or anything like that. It's very natural. I like the sand with the gravel over top of it. I like the appearance of the tank. I don't like that there isn't a background for the cords. It just, to get a 10, you gotta cover that.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, as far as that, first time seeing the tank, I would go with a 7.
Okay.
Definitely. I would say a 7.
I don't think that's unfair.
It's very beautiful.
So I'm basically going to just echo almost everything she just said. I got to give you some zonks here, Zach. The lack of the background. Yeah. The fact that there's a sponge filter in there. Yeah. Because you just don't need it. The stickers, AquaPros is a personal friend of mine. It has nothing to do with him. Fluval, you've got a Fluval sticker on there and some others, which we are covering up right now. There's a bunch of stickers on there. I personally am not a fan of doing that. That doesn't mean it's wrong. That doesn't mean you should take them off. That just means I personally am not a fan. I like stickers on other things, but when it comes to the tanks, not as much. I even take the Lifetime aquariums stickers off of custom aquariums tanks. It drives them crazy because
I don't like stickers on cars, on the back of cars. Now, I personally was okay with having David's marine logo sticker on the back when he graduated boot camp. I had his name and.
So you only like stickers when they're on the back of your cars?
Only mine.
We know how it works. I don't hate stickers in the back of windows, like when they're a big, they say like Joe's Grill and stuff,
Oh, for advertising your business. So yeah, that makes sense.
But for aquariums, I'm personally not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of not having a background. I can understand how daunting it would be to add a background to that right now, but a simple black.
Oh no, you know what would look good? Because I do like his wall being white. I think if he had a white background, that would look good.
Oh, I hate that idea.
Well,
Personally,
I think it would look good.
I
think
hate it.
It keeps it bright.
I think that's the worst idea I've ever heard.
I don't really care what you think. Merry Christmas.
It needs to be black to pop the plants more, make the plants separate from the back more.
I know. I
think it needs
white,
to be black.
No, I think a white background.
Well, that's fine. We disagree. That's fine.
Whatever.
But
Next week's
so
poll is going to be white background or black background.
white, black, or blue, or none. So I love the lotuses, how they're just wild, which that's what we love about those, right? That's why you get them. I love that. I mean, there's a lot to like about this, and I'm going to say it again. We've said it multiple times. I think 6 months to a year from now, this tank is going to blow people's minds. But right now,
I thought it was like established for several years, though.
I don't know. Maybe it is. And you know, maybe you should add some more. I don't know.
But I have to say something real quick. Mama Bear Moore, I do agree. Black backgrounds really are nice, and I think mostly all of mine are black too. So I'm not saying that white backgrounds need to be on everybody's tank. I was just saying I think a white background would look good on that, but so would a black one.
As I was trying to
just not
say,
blue. Just
Zach,
not blue.
what I was trying to say a long time ago, but this one, sliding a piece of black background, not white, but black back there, yeah, it'll be a pain in the butt, but it'll take you 3 minutes to get it in there. Run some tape down the sides, problem is solved.
Shoot, I stuck a black trash bag behind a tank
Yeah,
once.
black
just
wrapping
because
paper.
I was like, I had nothing else that was black, and I wanted to get the scape done and the tank done super quick. So I went and got a black trash bag, taped it right up to the back.
When you're looking at it from the front, you can't tell the difference. So getting something on there, I really think putting a background on there would dramatically change the overall appearance of this tank. I like what you have going on here. Because of the things that I've said, it might sound cruel, it may seem mean, but I'm going with a 6 on the overall presentation. It's not the fish's fault. It's not the equipment's fault. It's the other things that I said. And that's not being cruel. That's just, you know, oh man, we need to cover up that wall, Zach. That's all I'm saying. And the stickers, get them out of there.
Oh,
The AquaPro stickers, I think there was aquarium co-op sticker. Get it out of there. Blueville, get it. Put them somewhere else.
Get a picture frame and put it in the picture frame, and then hang it on the wall behind your tank.
I probably wouldn't be saying the same thing if there was a KG Tropical sticker. I'm just saying.
I would. I'd say the same thing.
I would too.
I would say the same thing about that too.
I made a decision, folks. Made a decision while we've been doing this here tonight. I'm not going to give away prizes. We're not going to treat this as a contest. Dave Portnoy doesn't give out awards for his pizza reviews. We're not going to do that. We're going to do giveaways every week. We're going to give you our scores of these tanks, and that's just going to be what it's going to be. Nobody's going to win any prizes or anything like that. You want to call me out on false advertising? Fine. Take me to court. We'll see how fun that is. I feel like that changes things. We're not going to do that anymore.
Oh.
I'm not even going to document the scores. I'm just saying them.
No, I want to document it.
Well, you can do it then.
No, you do it. It's
keyboard's right there.
No, it's your keyboard.
Let's talk about, was there anything going on in the chat that
Maybe
we wanted to address?
Maybe we should do rate your tank, who's got the worst.
Oh, that would just be mean.
Yeah, you're right.
It's just like, here's the problem. I'm sitting here wanting to score something, and then I'm like, I want to give this a 9. Oh, but that tank we did a couple weeks ago was really nice, and I only got that. I don't want to be that way. If I want to give this a 9, I want to give it a 9. If I want to give it a 4, which we've never done, then, you know, I don't want to. We're not doing this to hurt anybody's feelings, and we're not doing this to make anybody win an award. It's just for fun.
Yeah, and you get to get your tank out there.
And the thing is, the whole idea of doing this came from me falling down the rabbit hole of watching Dave Portnoy.
And you know,
He doesn't give away awards.
I think it would be awesome too if we circle back around like 6 months from now, if people want to do update videos, and then we could do comparisons. That would be a lot of fun. If you took advice, you put the background on, or your plants grew in, or you took the bubbles out, or just things, you know, I think that would be a lot of fun.
See, Zack is a good dude, because he said, please send me one. I love the stickers. Good on you, Zack. You're not going to be like, oh, John said it, so I have to take those stickers off. I would not have looked at you the same if you said that. Yeah. I'm glad that you're like, screw that guy. I don't care what he thinks. Yeah. I'm going to keep the stickers.
I want my stickers on there.
Is Zack a customer of ours? Zack, are you a customer of ours? You should definitely leave me a note, because I'm going to forget. Next time you put, I'm not going to check either.
He'll forget.
Next time you put in an order, hey, remember you reviewed my tank? We'll send a sticker with the next one. We used to include them in all orders, and then it just got out of control. We weren't getting as many orders back then.
Oh, back then, yeah.
I don't mind no prizes. I love you both. For you have helped me learn. Oh, well, that's cool. See, thank you.
Awesome.
And aquariums are so subjective. I don't know how. I was asked to judge an aquascaping contest one time, and I was like, why would you ask me that? Like, I don't know the rules. I don't know how far this is supposed to be and what percentage that is supposed to be. Like,
yeah, there was that one show. I don't even remember what country it was in, and they asked me to come to do the what you're talking about, but with betas, and I was like, Judge betas. I'm like, I don't think I'm qualified to do that. You know, I would not feel right, because I'd be like, oh, that's a beautiful beta. That's beautiful. That's
yeah, they would all
pretty.
get 10s to me.
They'd all get 10s. I'd be like, I love that one.
Dave Portnoy gave out 60,000 this week, so if you're inspired, I'm available at. Dave Portnoy also sold his business twice for a total of like $900 million. So he has just a few more hundreds of millions of dollars more than I do. All of the hundreds of millions of dollars more than I do. But, you know, one of the most inspiring things to me about Dave Portnoy, a lot of people don't like him for his politics. I don't care about all of that. The fact that what he has done has had such an immense impact on the pizza industry is what inspired me.
John likes pizza.
I do. I'm not trying to act as if we're going to impact the industry by doing this, because this is a different thing. I mean, you want to do Rate My Tank, but do Rate My Fish Store? We could do that. As a matter of fact, that would be a lot of fun. I don't know how we would, because you're going to have fish store owners that are open to hearing criticism, which most of them are not.
No,
and
not your old timers too that have been doing it for 30 years.
Exactly.
They're gonna, like that one Richmond wouldn't have handled that very well.
He also would never watch a live stream about fish either. But I know Mark would do it, and I know Rama would do it. But they would do it because they are personal friends.
Yeah.
People that we don't know would not do that. But maybe the fish store spotlight would be something that would help out. Anyway, I'm not doing this to make an impact, although I think it's fun. So it's not like I aspire to be like Dave Portnoy, but I was inspired to do this by Dave Portnoy doing what he does. Anyway, who cares about all of that?
Yeah, I don't care.
Let's go now to...
Click
wait a
the
minute.
right button.
I found my thing. I know this is Zack's tank again. Just bear with me here. I've got to find my outline because I don't know who's next. Micas. I hope Micas is here, and I hope I'm saying Micas' name right when I say Micas.
Oh, I like that. That's so cute.
It might be Micas. Putenis. Micas Putenis. That's how I'm going to say his name. I don't think it's Micas. I think it's Micas. And I could be wrong. What we have here is a 75-gallon Marineland tank and stand from PetSmart. A Fluval 407 small wave maker. Eheim heater, Marine Land light, fake plants, real driftwood. The fish are Congo tetras, ding, 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 thumbs up for me. Lemon tetras, green cories, electric blue acaras. That's 3 for 3,
Wow.
by the way. That was not done intentionally. And a rainbow shark.
Oh,
Um,
I like those Congo tetras.
the Congos are, yes. They're just, yes. Everywhere they are is a yes. Now, a couple of things that we see right off the bat for the second tank in a row. No background. That's the first thing I noticed about this. No, the first thing I noticed when I
It's a
watched this earlier, fake plants. But, and I love that. I love that that piece of art up above the tank.
I love that piece of art.
This is an example of making fake plants look good.
Yes, but my argument with that are these aren't fish that you can't have real plants with.
This is true.
If it was an Oscar tank or African cichlids, I'd be like, okay, I can understand the fake plants. These are community fish that would do very well with live plants. So that's my argument as far as that.
I don't disagree. In fact, I agree 100%. But think about this. You and I didn't do anything but kill live plants till 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can't critique people based on their lack of live plants.
Yeah, but we are doing a rate my tank. And
Oh, I'm not saying it won't affect the score. I'm just saying,
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is they probably understand that, or they wouldn't have sent it in. You got to be honest as far as what's expected. I'm not saying fake plants are going to get people bad scores, but they're not going to get as good of scores if it's live plants, especially when it's fish that could go with live plants. You know, they have a place. I think fake plants have a place. That's all I'm saying.
I think there's a lot of people out there that are scared of live plants.
Yeah.
Now, the plants that we
For
have
sure.
going on here, we've got fake anacarus. That's how I say it, and I'll say it to your face. We have fake what looks like Rotala, but it's probably the Zoom Ed stuff or whatever it's called that they actually call bamboo, but it almost looks like a really mature Rotala right there in the back corner. These are plants
That is
that
pretty.
they look exactly like what the real plants are. That looks like real anacarus.
It does.
So you could have all of these other plants be live plants and have those in the middle, and I wouldn't know. I'd be like, oh, that anacarus looks good. It's pretty tall. They're all exactly the same length. Huh, suspicious.
I think
But-
it would be cool too if they were like bunched up more going this way all together. Like not exactly bunched up all together, but kind of lined up more and coming out together with the flow.
Well, I'll tell you what you're saying. The tank is a little bit too sparse to where it, I don't know if you're saying this, but I'm saying it, and that means I'm speaking for you too. When there's not a whole heck of a lot going on in the tank, it kind of makes it obvious that the plants are fake. To me, anyway. Now, you do have a couple of areas of that tank where there are a bunch of them bunched together, and it looks really good because the wave maker's blowing them over, and that looks very natural. But then you've just got like one little dwarf grass, and then another one 6 inches away, and it just kind of makes it look like it makes it look fake. I'm not saying it looks bad. I think this
I
is
don't
a
thi-
good
yeah.
representation of a tank that is full of fake plants. I think this is a good way of doing it. I think you've done well here. For the equipment, again, real quick, Fluval 407, ding ding, small wave maker. I don't know what brand that is. It doesn't matter. Eheim heater, that's a good brand. Marineland light, not a fan of the light. I'm not saying, all right, be careful, Micas. Don't be offended. I'm not saying Marineland lights are bad. I'm saying I don't like yours because it's yellow, and that bothers me. You might have it set that way. I'm not a fan of that look. I'm a fan of daylight. I'm just not a fan of yellow tanks.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like 1991 kind of thing. Like, but you like it, so I'm happy for you. Or perhaps it is a daylight light, and that's a real piece of driftwood that you just put in there, and those are tannins that are making it yellow. I don't know.
Possible.
But I'm not the biggest fan of it being yellow. It makes the sand look weird, and just.
I like the sand.
Oh no, the sand looks good. I'm just saying it changes the color of the sand because the light looks yellow, and that's just me
And those are
being picky.
Pretty pieces of wood too.
They're yep. Exactly. The Fluval 407 is a home run for a 75-gallon tank. You done good there. And I mean, the other tanks that we've done today have been like, I've got my Fluval 407 and my power head and my Tidal and my this and my that. This is keeping it simple. This is a probably very accurately stocked tank. It's not gone overboard like the others. The others weren't bad. I'm just saying the filtration is very appropriate for the stocking and for this tank. I could actually make the argument that the other tanks would be more suited because this doesn't have the live plants. So it's almost like this filter should be on the other tanks and all those extra filters should be on here because they don't have the natural filtration from the live plants. But listen, it's appropriate. The filter is definitely appropriate. You got a good heater. I'm not a fan of the light. So I'm going to give the equipment on this a 6.5.
Oh.
It might seem low, but I don't like the yellow light. We'll talk about the heater being smack dab in the middle of the tank in a minute. But, yeah, I just really don't like the yellow light. That's just my personal preference.
I'm going to go with a 7.
Okay, let's move on to... No, you better explain yourself.
No, I mean, I agree with, like, what you've said. And, I don't have a problem with any of that equipment. It's just... It's not equipment that is, rated for a 10, that's all. But I think 7, yeah, I'd go with a 7.
I mean, a 7 is a solid score, no matter what the criteria.
And I like that he has that wave maker in there, because I like how it makes the flow of the plants and all do its thing.
It does make the plants look real. It makes that Anacris look real.
I like that.
Poll in the chat. Do we all say Anacris, or do we say Anacaris, or how do you say it? Because I say Anacris.
I say Anacris.
And I'm not afraid of you. I'll say it to your face. But
I say a lot of things wrong, too.
I know you're not going to be able to pronounce it in the chat, but just say, I say it like John, or I say it like you, John. I'd like to know. Because I don't want to get...
like that YouTube video you sent me last night about how the guy says knife.
Oh my God, that was the funniest 5 minutes I've ever had in my life.
It reminds me of when I was a kid and my mom was like, just make yourself a bologna sandwich for your field trip. And I looked and it was like, there was no bologna in the refrigerator. I told her that. I had to make a cheese sandwich with mustard because all we had was bologna. And I was like, I'll never forget that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had to...
What are you doing?
Come on. I'm trying to stop it.
What are you doing?
Stop! Okay. I was trying to find the video because I want to share it in the chat. This is 5 minutes of absolute bliss. You have to watch it. If you're a fan of stand-up comedy, you're welcome. It's hilarious. And he does not say Bologna in that.
No, but I do.
So, Aquascape.
He said a couple words in there that I was like, that's what I say.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. He did use a lot of Lisa language. Where's my Ecamm here? I've lost it. What
It's
did
right there.
No. There. Oh, I hid it behind the text. Okay.
Oh, where are we?
Yeah, I got my screen all jacked up here.
I
Sorry.
have no idea what we're even watching.
So we are back to Micas, Putenis, and we're on to the aquascape. Listen, Micas, ain't a whole lot going on here. You've got 3 pieces of driftwood, very nice pieces of driftwood, that are placed very symmetrically in the tank. It's not extravagant. It's very minimalist, which I like. I am a fan of minimal aquascapes, obviously. But it's not. There's not a whole lot going on here. I like the look of it, but from an aquascaping standpoint, it's not going to win any contests. You know what I mean? We're not going to go through the whole thing again, but I do like the use of fake plants if we are using fake plants, then that's a good way of doing it. And I think that we should perhaps have even more to make it look even more full.
Like right behind that piece of wood.
And
like
in the front, it's too much. There's too much open in there. And I know I'm saying that in front of a tank that's completely empty, but I don't know. It could be that the thought is, oh, my dolphins are over there breeding. The thought might be, if we add more fake plants, it's going to make it look even more fake. I don't think that that's true. Yeah, he's fully dressed and everything. Check him out. We've got some Morii breeding in the tank as we speak.
I didn't know that was a girl.
Yeah. Little distracting, but anyway.
I'm going to pull her out. I'm going to have a whole tank of blue dolphins.
From an aquascaping standpoint, if a professional aquascaper was to look at this, they would say, what aquascape? Because they're building bridges and they're doing all that crazy art stuff. This really isn't an art piece. But I'm not going to go below average. I'm going to give the aquascape on this a 5.5. And the only reason is because it's just 3 pieces of driftwood sitting in there. They're very beautiful pieces of driftwood, but there ain't a whole lot going on with it, Micas. I hope you can understand. Micas, however we say your name. Go.
Okay, so I can't score high with fake plants. Scape, if you were to go to Aquascello or one of the other fish events and you did a scape there, you're not going to use fake plants. You're going to use real plants.
It's
so true. I have to be fair here and just be fair. That totally dinged it for me as far as the scape. So I'm going to do a 5. And the reason why I'm doing a 5, if I'm giving you a 5 because the placement, I would put something right behind the big piece of wood to kind of make it flow more too. So it all goes together with the flow, because the wave maker makes it go that way. Just seems like it's a little bare right there in the middle. Maybe move one of the ones that's on the right side over into the middle so it kind of does a continuous flow together. But I still like it, and I think it looks very pretty. But to score a scape, I can't score it appropriately if it's fake plants.
Here's what I would recommend.
So 5.
I am no aquascaper, but I consider myself to be friends with Jen Williams, Jeff Miyake, George Farmer. And I think I know what they would suggest. I think they would suggest to not have this be so symmetrical and don't be afraid of open spaces. I think what they would say is you take that big fat piece of driftwood, which is perfectly, it almost looks like you took out a measuring tape and put it directly in the center of that tank. Move that all the way over to the left, and then take the other two pieces and make them as if they're coming out of that big piece
that would look
towards
really
the
good.
right.
And then have the plants come out.
Have the
of
plants
it.
be all surrounding that, all of them.
With the wave maker making it flow towards the right.
Yep.
And then you'd have all that open space, and the fish, you'd see the fish more too.
I think
Oh, yeah,
that
that
would
would really
that would
good.
take it from where it is now and almost turn it into an art piece. I
Yeah.
think it would look
Yeah.
really, really cool.
That would look good.
And the only
agree.
reason I know that, I'm terrible at aquascaping tanks. I can pile up rocks. That's about all I can do. But I hang around enough aquascapers. I know that's what they would do in that situation. If they were given exactly what's there, that's what they would do. Overall presentation. When you...
No, we didn't do fish.
We didn't do fish. We got to do fish next. Come on. What's wrong with you? Congo tetras, lemon tetras, green cories, electric blue acaras, and rainbow sharks.
There's rainbows? I don't...
Yeah, there's one right there by the
there's
piece
one.
of driftwood.
Yeah.
The problem that this tank has is that it's the exact opposite of the other two tanks that we did. The yellow light is not doing any favors to the fish. We're being honest with each other, right, Micas? But they blend in. You can't really see them, and I think there could be more. The other tanks were like, wow, these are really heavily stocked. This one, not as much.
Because of the placement of everything in there too.
They're hiding.
They're hiding in it.
Yep. Yeah, I think there could be more fish, but I like the selection of fish. I'm a big fan of lemon tetras. Lemon tetras in a yellow tank, though. Congo tetras, you're never going to get bad marks from me for those. Green cories, I like the contrast, even though you can't really see them.
The only thing that looks different to me as far as fish in that tank is the shark. I think they all look like the same color, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the light, you know. But
Yeah.
they look healthy.
They look really good.
They definitely look good.
They look really good. I think that the biggest problem with the fish in this tank is the light. But that's not the fish's fault. So really would love to hear if you at some point down the line make us upgrade that light to something that's not yellow. I'd be a big fan of that. The fish are not overwhelming, but how can you score a Congo Tetra tank bad? If you do, you're just a bad person. Congo Tetras are the best.
I like them. They're
I'm
beautiful.
going to give the fish a solid 7.
I was gonna say 7 too.
You can't. I took it. It's mine. You have to
I
pick
said
another one.
7.
That's
I
fine.
like- I definitely. I you know me. If I don't know, I think that tank would look good if it was just Congo Tetras.
Hey, I'm not going to argue with you there. And about 5 times more. Well, but they are going to get a lot bigger.
Yeah, they
but
do get bigger. And then just cories or something.
overall presentation, we know what my complaints are going to be, right? Where's the background? Come on, what is it? How do I pick
Background.
2 tanks that don't have backgrounds? Micas, move the heater to the left. What are you doing? Why do you have that heater right there? Like, hey, look at my heater. Now, get that out of there. What's wrong with you? Put it over there to the left.
Maybe it's his plugs. I mean, plugs
That's
can
a good point.
sometimes, make a difference of where you place things.
That's a good point, but it looks like that plug's going over to the left. Micas, we need to move that over to the left. I don't know why it needs to be out there all by itself. I'm going to tell you why. You're doing that because you're like, I'm putting it in the flow of the water. Well, guess what? You got that big old wave maker there, plus you've got the output from the 407 on that end. It's going to push that warm water across. You don't have to worry about that. Get that heater over there. It doesn't belong there in the center. It stands out way too much. I would have probably upgraded your aquascape if that heater was over to the left. Let's take that thermometer. Let's move it over to the side.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
hate you for having the thermometer in there. I think it's smart. Let's put it over on the side in the back corner where you can see it when you want to see it. but everybody else that looks in there is not going to see it. And let's put a background in there. The water probably would not look as yellow if you had a black background in there. In fact, it would probably dramatically change the look overall of this if it had a black background on there. Not white.
You know what? No, that definitely screams black background.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would make it look less yellowy too.
I agree.
Even
It
though
definitely would.
Even though a lot of people have said they think it's tannins, I agree. I do think it's tannins too from the driftwood. Between that and the light, but I still think a black background would make a huge difference as far as the overall appearance.
That big ass piece of driftwood would put out way more tannins than that. I don't know. I think it's the light, but it's okay. It doesn't matter either way.
Well, then
It's fine.
But yeah, it would put off tannins a lot, so it could still be leaching it. Even after like 6 months, it could still be leaching it a little bit.
Okay, well, agree to disagree when in Rome, right?
Well, whatever.
I'm just giving advice here is all I'm doing. I'm not trying to be mean. Get that heater out of there. It doesn't belong. Get the thermometer out of there. Get the black background on there. You would get a lot higher score. I am going to stand by what I said in the beginning.
Even the sand out in the front, so it's yes.
I see what you did there. I know why you did that.
Yeah.
But you're right. But Jeff Sensky. Anyway, another brilliant aquascaper. If we did that, I would be a lot happier with this, but I am going to stand by what I said in the beginning. I do think this is a good representation of a tank with fake plants in it. You can show somebody this tank and you can say, see, tanks don't look bad with fake plants in them. Yeah, it doesn't look the same as real plants, but those look like real Anacaris. They look good. They're blowing in the current. It wouldn't be my first choice, but it can be done. But because of the things that I said with the heater, with the thermometer, with the yellow water, why is the water down an inch? I'm weird about that too. I want it to be back up there higher. With those issues. But there is one thing you haven't noticed yet. And when I point it out to you, you're not going to not see it anymore. And you can barely see it. They have the exact same stand on that tank that we put in South Carolina.
Oh, is it?
Yep, they're really fancy stand,
Right.
which is really cool. You get bonus points for that. But because those issues, the issues that I talked about would so dramatically alter the appearance of this tank very easily, because they are glaring like that, I'm going to give the overall presentation a 6.5. And you might be mad at me for that. I hope you're not. I hope you take that as constructive criticism. And hey, you asked me. I didn't ask you. Your turn.
For me, overall presentation, I thought I already gave this.
Did you give it a score, though?
I thought I did. Didn't I say 5?
No. You wouldn't have given that a 5.
Oh, because of the fake plants.
Maybe. Did she give it a 5,
I
y'all?
think I did.
Man, you should be ashamed of yourself. What are you, mean or something?
No, I went first. You just rambled for so damn long. I thought we were on the next tank. I was like, I already scored this.
We're not going to be able to do a fourth tank. It's already 8:39. We're already pushing it here. But hey, listen, I hope that everybody understands this is us having some fun and also hopefully helping fellow fish keepers, giving them some ideas. The cool thing about every criticism that we had there for Micas,
Oh, wait.
he
I
can
think
fix
I did-
that
I
with
didn't-
no money.
I didn't do overall. I did scape was a 5.
All right, we'll do it quick.
Oh, overall I would say 6.
All right. See, it's not terrible. Above average, Micas. I don't know how to say your name. I hope I'm saying it right. One of those two ways. You could fix those issues. I don't know about the yellow light or the tannins, whatever it is, but the background, the heater, the thermometer, the little things, you could redo that aquascape and make your aquascape score go way
Put
up.
that background on there.
Put the background on. None of it would cost you any money. And that
Yeah.
is why we do this.
And I agree with Sherry Coleman. She said, I have noticed a full water line looks so much better.
It's true.
And they even out that sand, have the water all the way up.
See how bad that looks?
background.
See how terrible that looks right there?
Yes.
But you know what? You try to level a 340,000 pound aquarium. See how easy it is. But no, I'm not saying that to Sherry. I'm just making a joke there. But yeah, that line behind my head really pisses me off. Maybe one day I'll fix that. But listen, let's get into true or false.
So you don't want to do another one?
We can't. It's already 8:40.
Oh. And I do believe I saw Whip saying that Ed is streaming tonight after we're
Oh, good.
done.
Good.
So everybody will have to go check out Ed.
If I would have known that, I would have put it in the redirect. You should overcrowd an African cichlid tank to keep aggression down. I believe the very first chat that was put in here was Kalen Shepard. And I believe he said there should be a maybe as an option in this. And you know what? I agree with him 100%. There should have been.
Had a cold chill.
I have this problem, and I've always said, my entire time ever keeping African cichlid or keeping fish, peacocks, haps, and mbunas are African cichlids to me.
Yeah.
When I say African cichlids, that's what I'm talking about. And I think most people are that way too. But
there are other kinds of African cichlids that come from other bodies of water, not
That's
just
right.
Lake Malawi.
you're telling people, not you, but we're telling people to overstock a 75-gallon tank with peacocks, but we're saying it as African cichlids. People hear that and say, well, okay, I guess that means if I'm going to get frontosas and put them in a 75-gallon, which you shouldn't, I'm going to need to put 30 of them in there. That would be a catastrophic error. So it is true. I mean, it's the way I asked the question was wrong, because I probably should have said Lake Malawi cichlids, or you, because this was your idea. Then it would have made it.
You should have proofread.
I know. I copied and pasted. I mean, so
You didn't
it's
even spell false right.
just as much my fault as it is yours.
I
I
mean,
felt Spanish.
No, I mean, you felt English for true. You felt Spanish for false. So it's like, you got to be one or the other. Don't be.
You know what? It is what it is. But so the way I asked this question, the way it came out of my head, it's absolutely true, because we're talking about peacocks, haps, and mbunas.
I mean, you did stand up there and call yourself a woman earlier.
I did.
You did.
And you called me basic. I'm never going to forget that. It hurt my feelings.
Sick white boy.
For that, it is absolutely true. And 71% of the 425 votes agree that that is a true statement. 29% said false. And you know what? I'm not mad at them, because those people might have been thinking about some of the Tanganyikans and some of the African cichlids, that it's not absolutely critical that you overstock. There's a lot of shell dwellers and multis and all different kinds of Tanganyikan fish, Julita that you can have 8 in a tank and it not be a problem.
But Vitaly wants to know why. So I think you should tell them why. Because what if you
That
don't?
makes a lot of sense.
Okay, what happens if you don't overstock an African cichlid tank?
I do want to say it this way, though. Malawi cichlid tanks, which I just call African cichlid tanks,
Right.
these are some of the most aggressive fish that we will find in the hobby. And they will gang up on each other. They will fight till the death. They're a very territorial fish. They pick their hierarchy, they pick their territories, and they will fight constantly over those. So having a lot of fish in the tank creates chaos. It creates a lot of confusion and all of this, and it disperses all of that negative energy because there's just so much going on. The fish are so busy swimming around with each other and going in and out and being all around that they don't sit around and think about wanting to beat each other up. That's the general consensus when it comes to Lake Malawi cichlids, is overstock them to avoid aggression. When there's not a lot of fish in there, they're just going to be constantly wanting to fight each other, which is why I suggested to Kevin M., who put 8 peacocks in his 110. That's amazing, but you're going to want to add more eventually. Haps, I have found to be the least of the 3 as far as aggressive if they're not in high numbers. But peacocks and imbunas, you really need to pack them in. That's why I have like 70 in my 240s yellow labs. Started with 60. There's a lot of them now, and it's more than 60. So that's why. Avoiding aggression because it creates chaos.
That's how I've always treated my beta sororities as well, is to overstock them so they're not constantly wanting to see each other and pick on each other. So I kind of use the same logic for beta sororities.
I forgot to do the true or false intro. We didn't get to see Tommy Wiseau tonight. Damn it. I can't believe I forgot about that.
Oh, wow.
All right. 8:46. I got to do some thank yous.
Yes.
Should I do it as John's World? Why not? Let's do that.
All right.
Had him over there. Had to bring him over here because I wasn't planning on doing this at a different camera. Listen, there's 2 thank yous that I have to put out there. One is to my friend that is in the chat right now, Mr. Joe Provenzano. You know him as Finsanity, which I think is an adorable name. We got a present from him the other day in the P.O. Box 742, Edenton, North Carolina, 27932. When I opened the box, there was a box in the box. Wow.
Sorry.
She's yawning so hard right now. There was a
Sorry.
box in the box. What's in the box? When I opened it up, I immediately saw a word that made me go, woohoo. You might not know this about me, but I collect bobbleheads. It's just something that makes me happy. It started off with collecting stadium giveaway baseball bobbleheads specifically for the Washington Nationals. I have every single one of them up to 2023, and I love them. I love the collection. I got a few more that I have to get from actually 2022. I've got to get 2023s and 2024s. And the ones that meant the most to me were the ones that I would go to the stadium and actually get rather than buying them off eBay. But a lot of people have started giving me bobbleheads as gifts, and it's amazing. I love it so much. Jason Adams has given me like 6 that are from his local baseball team. I've bought a bunch from other stadiums. I'm a bobblehead collector. I love them. When I look at my shelf that has about probably 120 bobbleheads on it, I just smile. I just love it. And so I saw the word bobblehead when I opened up the box. Now, I also saw NFL. And I know where Joe lives. I'm not going to give you his address, but he's a frequent customer of ours, and I know he lives in upstate New York. And so I was like, well, it's got to be Buffalo. And so I immediately thought, it's going to be Doug Flutie. Of course it is. And it's going to be about that big, and it's going to make it adorable. But no, it was even better than that. No, it's not Thurman Thomas. It is probably the best quarterback in the NFL right now. Sorry, all you Patrick Mahomes fans.
Lift it up a little more.
It is Josh Allen.
Yeah.
If you don't love that, then I don't know what's wrong with you. I'm not a Buffalo Bills fan. I'm not a Buffalo Bills hater. My team beat them in the Super Bowl, along with the other 3 teams that they played in the Super Bowl. I like the Bills. I love Josh Allen. So this was really, really cool. Thank you, Joe. He was already on the shelf. I had to pull him off the shelf to bring him here tonight to show you.
And thank you for my really cool stamp too, Joe.
He gave her a stamp for our receipts, which is cute. It says, thanks so much, Lisa. It's adorable. Now, got to give probably one of the biggest thank yous that I've ever given in my life. This woman doesn't understand. She has no clue how special this is to me. If you are a channel member and you participated in the members only live stream last week on Friday, maybe you didn't watch it live, but maybe you watched it on replay, whichever it was, you heard me explain my obsession with Superman and why I am as obsessed over Superman as I am. I'm 50 years old and I act like an 8-year-old when it comes to Superman. I'm sorry, I just do.
Yeah.
Shut up. I expressed in that members only stream that it has been one of my holy grail things that I want. I said two things. One, the 1/6 scale Christopher Reeve figure. That is a very elusive figure. Collectors want it everywhere. It's probably going to get even more expensive as we go because of the new Superman that's coming out. Lisa was not able to find that one. But I also said in that live stream how much I would also love the Henry Cavill figure. I'm a 50-year-old man with 5 kids and 4 grandkids that almost cried when I got this. I can't explain why. This is the Henry Cavill Justice League. It says it on the base. Justice League figure. And he's posable. I could make him fly if I wanted to, but I like that strong Superman pose there. I put him in this pose. He came with a bunch of different hands. He came with 2 heads. The other head has the laser eyes, and there's actually an LED in it that will make his eyes light up. It's really cool. But I just like old regular-faced Henry there. As silly as it may sound, this is one of the best gifts I've ever received in my life. So we're doing a thank you segment. I got to thank my wife for this. It is amazing. I put him on my mantle behind me in my office, and he looks over me all day long. And I'm just a happy guy. So thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Joe Provenzano. You've added to the collection in a big way. Now you have to push the button.
Now it's just me.
Now it's just you. You got the show all to yourself.
No.
Okay. Let's see how much people are making fun of me now.
No.
He doesn't have the pole up his bum, Shamu. You must be one of our European friends. They say bum, don't they? No, it's actually one of those. I can't reach him now, but it's a stand that grabs him by the waist, and you can position it how you want. Like I could put him in a flying pose if I wanted to and stuff like that. So it's not going up his butt. You must have the Nicolas Cage one. I don't know that they've made a figure of the Nicolas Cage Superman, but
was he Superman for like 5 minutes?
He was gonna be.
Yeah.
He was gonna be, but he was not.
That is hilarious.
It was gonna be a Tim Burton Superman. I'm glad Tim Burton didn't make a Superman. He made a great Batman, but he is the man. I know you like Reeve, but he's my Superman. No, I love Henry Cavill's Superman. I think I even talked about it on this live stream when he made his appearance in the end credit scene during Black Adam. Again, I was like I was ready for him to come back.
That's the best comment I've ever seen. Just kidding.
Smart. It's very true. We learned Reeve, not Reeves. Yeah.
Right.
George Reeves, the first Superman, not the first
is
Superman.
not related to...
But Christopher Reeve.
Yeah.
They are 2 different. Yeah, I had to go on that little tangent there. But there's 4 of those. That is the Hot Toys 1/6 figure for Justice League. And then they also have one in the black suit. Then they have one for Batman vs. Superman. And then they have one for Man of Steel.
Oh, what about your Funko Pops? Because you didn't have enough girls.
She decided to start a female collection of Funko Pops for me, which is adorable.
It was all guys. I was like, it's not right.
So I got Shuri and Wonder Woman, which is awesome. and Selena Kyle, which is really funny because Christmas Eve I watched The Batman with the Lenny Kravitz's daughter playing
They're all three
Selena Kyle.
All three my favorite superhero girls. I wanted to make sure you had them.
So now I've got a Selena Kyle bobblehead and Funko, which is really cool. But then I also got Corliss Valerian to complete the House of Dragon
Yeah,
set.
because last year they didn't send it when I tried to get you the whole collection, so I had to get it. Yeah.
I like Cavalrine. That, I mean, Henry would have the same problem that Hugh Jackman did. They're both too big to really play Wolverine, but he looked so good. And just like Deadpool said in that movie, this just feels right. She doesn't know what I'm talking about right now. It looked so good with the cigar and everything. Like Henry can do no wrong as far as I'm concerned, because the first time I ever saw him was Man of Steel, and I was like, who the hell is this guy? But then I was instantly like, okay, I got it.
I liked him in The Witcher.
Yeah, he's a great Geralt. Robert Patrick should stick to Twilight. Yeah, Robert Patrick is considerably too old to be in Twilight. I believe you met Robert Pattinson. And I disagree. I'm not. All right, I'm just going to say it. I'm looking you in the eye, and I'm going to say this right now. And if you don't agree with me, I really don't care.
Oh.
But I'm saying it to your face. Ben Affleck is the best Batman that's been put on film. Holding the mic, and now I'm dropping it. Ben Affleck is the best Batman on film.
I don't know.
Who else is there? Tell me one.
I liked, oh gosh,
My point exactly.
No, I know. I'm drawing a blank to his.
Michael Keaton.
Yes, thank you.
Michael Keaton was great, but he wasn't as good as Ben Affleck, and I'll say it to your
I
face.
kept thinking, I'm like, I know the guy. I can't remember his name.
Christian Bale was phenomenal. Those are the best Batman movies that have ever been made.
Better than Bale, but
the best overall Batman was Ben Affleck. I love Christian Bale.
Swirl said Mr. Mom is not Batman.
I'm a huge Michael Keaton fan. I loved him showing up in The Flash. I thought that was great. But George Clooney. But no, I mean it's Affleck. I'm a big Ben Affleck fan. So there is bias there.
Ooh, best Joker. Oh, the one that.
I mean, it's not even close. It's Heath Ledger, and it's not even up for conversation. Best Joker movie is The Joker. Then it would be Dark Knight. But
I don't know. What about what's his butt from back in the day? He was a pretty good Joker.
Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson was good.
He of course he was. But Heath Ledger, I mean
I like Heath Ledger too.
That Batman, The Dark Knight, is probably the only movie I've ever watched that has gotten better every time I've watched it. And I've watched it probably 30 times. I mean, it just gets better every time. And so I'm not trying to say that those weren't good movies. They were amazing. Christopher Nolan is an absolute genius. I still like Ben Affleck better as Batman. He's more believable as a billionaire.
Best Robin?
There's only been two. And we're not going to say Chris O'Donnell.
I don't even
You're just trying to spark controversy is all you're trying to do.
No.
Joaquin Phoenix was a great Joker. That movie was great. I mean, but the best Batman's Joker was Heath Ledger, if that makes sense. Like, they're two completely different things.
Ooh, best Penguin. Are you going to talk about the new Penguin?
That movie was great.
No, the show.
The show, I mean, that's what I meant. Least favorite Batman? Oh, boy, now you're really trying to make people mad. It would have been Clooney for me.
Mm.
It would go, my order would be Affleck, Bale, Keaton, Kilmer, Clooney.
Mm.
That's it, right? I mean, we're not talking about the animated series. We're just talking about the real life actors. Chris Farley was definitely the best Batman. Now, who was it in Saturday Night Live that played him back in the 70s? Anyway, who cares? Arnold is the Freeze. Mark Hamill, best Joker voice. Well, yeah. I mean, the only Joker voice, as far as I'm concerned. Michael Rosenbaum's the best Flash voice. Yeah.
Flash?
Yep, you didn't know that.
Mm.
Yeah. But I still stand by it. Affleck's the best Batman. I know that's blaspheme to a lot of people.
Forgot about Jim Carrey playing the Riddler.
I did forget about Pattinson on the list. I would put, there's a lot of people that are going to probably unsubscribe and hate me right now.
Mm.
I would put Pattinson between Keaton and Bale.
Mm.
So I would go Affleck, Bale, Pattinson. Oh, and Adam West, too. That's a TV show, though, so that is different. And that show, come on. I mean, that show was, it was great, but it was kind of it was almost like a cartoon in live action. I don't really count that. But yeah, okay. So Affleck, Bale, Pattinson, Keaton, Kilmer, Clooney. That's my list. And I've said it too many times tonight, but I'll say it again. I'll say it to your face. As far as Supermans, I mean, come on. It's unless we go with Smallville and Lois and Clark and Superman and Lois, that'd be a tough one.
Mm.
I mean, Revis first, duh.
Definitely.
Cavill would be 2. Tyler Hoechlin would be 3. Tom Welling would be 4.
I don't even know any of these people.
Dean Cain 5.
Reva's the only one to me.
And I really do think that David Cornsweet's going to be in the top 3. I really do.
No.
I feel
it's
strongly.
It's definitely Reeve and then that guy.
I'm 50 years old, so I'm not here for much longer. But every single day I have left, no one will ever take Christopher Reeve's place. That's just not possible. Brandon Routh, forgot about him. Brandon Routh was a really good Superman, and I don't care what you say. The movie wasn't great, but he was a good Superman. He was supposed to be Christopher Reeve, so he did a really good job with that.
I agree with this. Tobey Maguire was the best Spider-Man, definitely. That's my Spider-Man. Yes, Tobey Maguire was the best.
I loved that movie. The problem was you had a 32-year-old playing a 16-year-old.
He's 32 now.
No, he's 60 now. What are you talking about?
I don't care.
I'm going Tom Holland. I'm sorry. I'll say it to your
No,
face.
I don't
Tom
like-
Holland is great.
No, Tobey Maguire. I agree with that.
Tobey Maguire was really good. Andrew Garfield, as unbelievable as he is, and I am a big fan of that guy, he has to go number 3. I think he would be number 3 on everybody's list. Didn't throw a single punch in that movie, and that's the main reason that movie was lame. Yeah, I mean, he didn't fight anybody. And that, talking about Superman fighting people, that's what pissed me off at the end of The Flash. Spoiler alert.
Oh, no.
Put Andrew Garfield in front of Tom Holland. All right, I'm not going to be mad at you for that. But at the end of The Flash, when he was going through and seeing all of the other universes, and he was in the Speed Force and all of this, and he saw Nicolas Cage's CGI Superman fighting a big spider, and then you just see Christopher Reeve standing there. I thought that was disgraceful. If somebody was going to get a fight scene, it should have been the guy that is everyone's hero, not the guy that didn't even play Superman. And would have, let's be real. I love Nicolas Cage. I met the guy. I listened to his wife pee. I should have explained that. I'm not going to. I explained it a long time ago.
That was weird.
I was standing outside of the bathroom when Nicolas Cage's wife was using the bathroom, and I joked to him, for the rest of my life, I'm going to be able to tell all of my friends that I heard Lisa Marie Presley pee. Okay? If I don't explain it, people are going to be like,
And
I don't know
then
about that guy.
You get to hear another Lisa Marie pee all the time.
I know. 5 times a night. But to just have Christopher Reeve stand there was a disgrace. I love Nicolas Cage, but he was never Superman. All he was doing was talking about being Superman.
I'm always going to think of Nicolas Cage from the movie Raising Arizona. That was the funniest
One of
movie.
my favorite movies.
Love it.
I love that movie so much.
I love that movie more.
Some things need context. See, Zen Ginger gets it. She knows. Tobey Maguire's 49. Okay, well, yeah, he's old. I love Tobey Maguire's
like
Superman,
that time-
Spider-Man.
Like that time I said, I sent Zen a picture of my melons. Some things need context. We have watermelons outside, or did.
Oh, this is a good question. Best Jor-El. It's Russell Crowe. Because I got myself in a lot of trouble in that member stream. I don't think, actually. I think everybody agreed with me in that member stream. I'm not a fan of Marlon Brando. I never was.
Oh.
And he didn't do anything in that movie. Russell Crowe was in all of Man of Steel. I mean, I think he was a better Jor-El than Brando was. And he doesn't really show up in anywhere else. Ghost Rider. See, Ghost Rider, he is Johnny Blaze. That's a good character for Nicolas Cage. But Superman? Come on.
Not Superman.
He looked ridiculous.
Ooh,
Just,
yes.
no.
Nicolas Cage and Face Off. That was a good movie with John Travolta.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely.
Love it.
But I think Marine Josh brings up the
And
best Nicolas
Con
Cage movie.
Air.
Con Air was good.
Nicolas Cage and Con Air was really good.
National Treasure is the best Nicolas
Okay.
Cage movie.
It was a good movie. I wouldn't say my favorite.
Can you start an entertainment podcast? You have no idea how much I would love to do that. I would love to do that so much.
As much as he wanted to do the pay-per-view announcing thingy.
Oh. Isn't Nicolas Cage's uncle Francis Ford Coppola? Yes, his name is actually Nicholas Coppola. That is a fact.
I did not know that.
In fact, when I met him, I said, "Hello, Mr. Coppola." And he went, like, nobody calls him that. But I knew because I'm a weirdo like that. Con Air and Snake Eyes. Listen, these are all good Nicolas Cage movies. Nicolas Cage, I am a huge fan, but not as Superman. No, not my Cal. You cannot have him, Nicolas Cage.
Nope.
Wouldn't have worked. I've been watching a lot of woodworking videos lately, and I I wish I had a woodworking channel.
So many videos.
So many what?
So many wood videos.
I am
And
going to be...
every single time he watches one, he comes and tells me, "This is what I want to do.
No,
I'm gonna
listen.
do this.
Context,
I just found this
again.
other channel."
We're already
Oh.
stepping on Ed's toes, but Smallville was the best
even
Superman
realize
versus when telling the backstory. Well, yeah, because it was 10 seasons. I love Smallville. It was great. Okay, listen. I made this decision today. I just didn't tell you. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't stop me. I will be bringing back the Money Pit channel. Why? Because I am getting ready to start a project. And it is going to be a major project on a budget. Major budget on a... no, opposite of that. Major project on a very small budget. I'm going to be remodeling my kitchen. And that's what she's talking about. I come out 10 times a day and I'm measuring things and I'm like, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to document all of it on the Money Pit channel. But what I can tell you is this. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to stress. I'm going to have the camera in the room. I'm going to film myself doing some things. I'm going to talk a little bit. I'm going to gather up all of the footage. And then when it's done, we'll see how many videos come out of it. That's how it's going to work. Obviously, KG Tropicals is the priority. So if it never gets done, it never gets done. But I am going to at least get footage of all of
It takes
that.
as long as the fence getting painted. It could be a while, guys.
7 months took you to do that fish tank, so
I
you might
thought we
want
were
to.
talking about projects
You might want to
around the
quit.
house, not
You
my
thought we
fish
were talking about
tank.
projects that it took me a long time
So
to
let
do.
me tell you, I saw the neighbor the other day when I was at the dollar store, and she said that her and her husband, they go by in the side-by-side once in a while, and they'll look over and they'll be like, what is John up to now?
Probably
I'm like-
blowing leaves.
And I said, you know what? Weren't you all so excited when he painted that fence so it wasn't brown anymore? And she goes, yeah, and she started laughing.
I thought you were going to say, oh, I didn't even notice. But if you like the way I do things and you like my style, if you want, and you're into like DIY construction videos that have nothing to do with fish tanks, you might want to go over to that Money Pit channel. That channel's basically...
He is very talented, you guys. I give him a hard time, but this man can do anything. If we have a plumbing problem, he's underneath of the house and he's fixing it. If we have a hot water heater go out, he's in there fixing it, going and getting it, buying it. You want to know what he did this week? It started raining and my 125, my tank in the stand was still in the back of the truck, and he brought it in the fish house without even asking me. He got it in here by himself. So if there's ever anything wrong, he's fixing it, he's doing it. He is not going to call a guy unless he has to call a guy, like when he didn't know how to set the thermostat.
That's hurtful. That hurt. Oh, you stabbed me right in my gut.
No, you did good.
I installed a new thermostat. I just didn't do it right.
So we had to call the electrician.
No, it was an HVAC guy.
Yeah, we
but
had no heat, and it was 25 degrees that
yeah,
night.
I know. But anyway,
That was 4 days ago.
The biggest problem with the Money Pit channel was the money part of the Money Pit.
Yeah, you need money for it.
Yeah. And we have set aside, we've allocated a very small amount of funds to do this kitchen project.
It's called GoFundMe. And
No.
I'm just kidding.
that would be nice. But I'm going to be replacing all of the cabinet doors in there. I wanted to make them myself, but she won't let me.
No, because projects, it takes time.
I know.
You'll
I'm
be
gonna.
like 8 months later.
So I'm going to be replacing all of those, but I'm going to be painting all of the cabinets myself. I used to have a spray booth. Now I don't. I'm going to be building a new kitchen island. I have to build it. I'm going to be building 4 new cabinets for an extension. We're not making the room bigger. We're just making the cabinets longer. And then refinishing the floors, painting the entire room, and the really big project that I'm going to be doing on that channel that I think I think it's going to make for a really good video, which is the whole reason why I want to do this is when we bought this place, this building that we're sitting in right now had hardwood floors, and they were very bouncy. You walked through this room, you would bounce through this room. Maybe not her, but I would bounce through this room. And so I had to rip all of those out. Ripped out all of the floors, and I cut all of the floor joists, which are 2x8, either white oak or southern yellow pine. I don't know what they are for certain yet. I cut out all of those floor joists, and I saved them. And I'm going to be getting those surfaced because I have the equipment, but it would take me 3 years. I'm going to get those floor joists surfaced, and I'm going to make those boards. I'm going to make a wooden countertop for the kitchen island out of the wood that came from this building. Mm-hmm. That's over 100 years old. So that's going to probably be my crown jewel project that I'll do on there.
And then the flooring that was in here, we saved a lot of it, the good pieces. I'm going to have him cut it the way it needs to be cut, and I'm going to make a wall in the bathroom.
No, you're not going to make a wall out of anything. I'm going to make a wall out of it.
I was
and then
making the wall.
You're not going to do it.
I'm making the wall.
I've seen the way you make walls with wood, darling. Mm-hmm. I've seen it.
The only other person that saw that was Zen.
And Doug.
Did he like it?
He said it was adorable.
I like that wall.
I'm going to do that wall. It's going to be fun. But the kitchen island,
it's a practice wall, John.
The kitchen island is going to be
slants.
special. and I can't wait to do it. So my floors are going to be not fun at all.
I said don't even do the floors. We're just going to walk on them,
No,
and then you're
they're-
going to yell at me if I scrape the chair along it.
Oh,
or
the floors have
move
to be done.
furniture. It's going to scratch the floor up. And
The problem with our floors in our
I'm
kitchen,
bad with floors.
we have wood floors in the kitchen, which I hate. If I had the money, I would put a new subfloor in and put tile down. We don't have the money to do that. So I am going to refinish the floors in there. The problem is they've already been refinished badly. So that's why they have to be redone, no matter what she says. But listen, it's 9:15, and Ed is streaming. He's the nicest person on planet Earth, and we don't want to step on his toes.
Zen
So
said that my wall has personality, though.
I said it's adorable, but I don't want that in my bathroom.
I told you it was practice. I promise I'll make it straight.
No,
It
I
has
got
a
it.
little
I'll do
lean.
it. I'll do it. It's fine, and you'll love it.
Really wanted to do it myself.
No, you can paint. I will do that, but you paint.
I can't paint the wood after you put it up.
No, you can't paint the wood, but you can paint the rest of the room.
The room is this big.
Yeah, that's why you'll be able to do it in just a few minutes.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, you guys, it was a lot of fun, and we will see you next year.
That's true. It will be next year. Everybody have a happy and safe new year.
Yes.
Just do like I do. Just don't drink, and then you won't get in any trouble. And
Or just stay home and drink.
that's what she'll be doing, which means it'll be a good bring in the new year for me. Yay.
Yay. And I'll be texting Zen.
You just made that really weird, and you don't even know it. Good night, everybody.
Good night.